Oh, there we go, ads. Why do I put up with them? Oh, damn it, wrong output. If only I remembered how... Oh, whatever, I'll just pause my music. There we go. And... there we go. Okay, so... I don't know, is the sound working? Oh, wait, right, I have it muted. Oh, that was so smart. Yeah, do sound checks with it muted. Okay, so... Okay, the sound's working. Cool. Okay, we'll rock and roll. Um, and I need to fix my sound outputs again. So, um, right. So, welcome to the stream. Um, camera work is going to be extremely shoddy because I'm the only guy on camera and I'm also doing overclocking. And as you can clearly see, I'm not an octopus. So that's always a fight in the streams. I've also still haven't sorted out the capture card situation, so no capture card on the monitor. So it'll be just camera pointed at monitor, which will also mean garbage video quality there. So that's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So I said first I'd cover the controversy. Well, some of it. I'm not gonna actually solve it or anything because it's not really my like I've never dealt with anything about cards overdrawing PCIe slots. So I'm just gonna drop in some information on it about actually the RX 480's power delivery that I only basically figured out today when I started stabbing it with a multimeter and found out that AMD did a lot more than just violate PCIe spec for the slot. The implementation of the 6-pin is interesting in that the fact it basically matches an 8-pin in its power throughput. So, yeah, let's take a look at the card right now, eh? I'll just pull it out of the system because I had to check that everything works. And unfortunately, not everything works for today's stream. The Rampage is being well, the Rampage has been getting steadily more and more obnoxious, and right around now, it's about as bad as it's ever been. Um, basically, I have some unresolved memory issue with the board, and it's basically given up on running channels C and D, and A and B aren't exactly what I would call stable. So basically, I'm on 2 channels of RAM, and I can't even run any kind of overclock on the 5960X last I checked. So everything's in hell. So here's the card. I'm using a Sapphire one. So yeah, this is the 8 gig version, which if you've been on my YouTube channel, you should know because I already did a video about the card. So let's actually put this down on the table so I can point the camera at it and we can start stabbing the thing. Tripod. Oh, damn it. This is gonna go so well. So there we have the card, and do ignore the kitchen in the background. Is it gonna fix its own lighting settings? No, it's not. Okay. So I need to go take care of those as well. This is gonna be perfect. Oh well, just about on par with every other stream I've done, so it's not worst at least. Well, not worse at least. There we go. Oh, okay, let's see. Huh, okay, so auto actually did it for once. And now I can't see what I'm looking at. There we go. Okay, now I can see. So here's the card, right? And the interesting thing is, so we have the vCore VRM located in right around here. There's a 7th phase up here. That's the auxiliary rail, and memory is right here in this area of the card. And the interesting thing is, the card has two 12-volt voltage planes. So basically, the 6-pin and the PCIe slot, the 12-volt inputs from the PCIe slot and the 6-pin, are not even remotely related to each other. They're not connected anywhere. Like, they basically don't, they don't impact each other at all. So you can actually overdraw the 6-pin to hell, and the PCIe slot won't know anything. And basically the interesting thing here is, so the 6-pin traces over to here, which, wait, where the hell did oh, there it is. Okay, so multimeter time. Sorry for kicking the camera. So, can you see the multimeter? No, you can't. You can now. Okay, goody. So, first of all, 6-pin implementation. This implementation of the 6-pin is actually completely out of spec compared to what it's supposed to look like. However, this is implemented like you would see it implemented on something like a EVGA ePower, which is an auxiliary VRM for GPUs, which basically doesn't follow any, specifications that don't produce more power. So the ePower doesn't follow any of the safety stuff. It doesn't care. It just has 3 6-pins, and it's rated for something like 900 watts of, 900 amps output, so around 900 watts. It doesn't even have overcurrent or overpower protection. If you overdraw that thing, you're gonna blow out you're just gonna blow out the output side of it. I've never seen anybody burn out the 12 volt. Actually, I've seen the blowouts usually happen. They blow out the capacitor bank. So, yeah, they don't even blow out the MOSFETs on that thing. That thing's insane. So anyway, that has a really badly implemented 6-pin. And the thing about a 6-pin is, so I'm going to compare this one here to the one on a 5870, which actually follows spec properly. So if I measure so these 3 pins down here, those are ground. These up here are 12 volts. One of those ground pins is supposed to be used to sense if the connector is present or not. It's not supposed to actually ground the card, and that's the middle one. So if I measure from this one to this one, right, we get 0 ohms, and we also get 0 ohms here. So that's completely out of spec. You're not supposed to use all 3 of your ground pins to ground the card. One of them supposed to sense if the 6-pin is present at all. And the way AMD gets around this is the 6-pin is entirely dedicated to the vCore VRM, which doesn't have any connection to your PCIe slot. So if you try to power the card on without a 6-pin, your vCore VRM can't power on, therefore no fire. So that's good. The other benefit that this has is with the extra grounding, you can actually push the same amount of power through this 6-pin as you could through any 8-pin, because it uses the same number of wire pairs. So let's compare this to an actual proper 6-pin implementation, like we have on the 5870. So this is going to be super awkward, because I need this card to stand up like this. Oh, well, let's just rest it against the 590. So if you measure from this pin, right, so that's ground, to this pin, and you can't see the multimeter, and now you can't get a measurement, damn it. There. So as you can clearly see, those 2 pins, which are ground, measure 4.6 kilo ohms. Well, you can't see the kilo ohm parts, but it's non-zero. And that's in spec. So basically, this pin right in the middle needs to be shorted to ground in order for the card to actually see a 6-pin plugged into that slot. The 480 doesn't do that, because if you don't have a 6-pin, the vCore VRM can't power on because there's no 12-volt source. And to prove that, let's just check from the 12-volt pins, which are located down here. If you go from 12 volts, right, so that's a 12-volt right there. Well, one of those two, well, there's 5 12-volt pins located on the PCIe. So if you go from there to any side of these capacitors, you get non-zero resistance, right? And those are 12-volt capacitors. Those are 16 volts rated capacitors, and there's like a kilo ohm, more than a kilo ohm of resistance between 12 volts and those capacitors over there. So these capacitors are not hooked up to your 12 volt of the PCIe. They're only hooked up to the 6-pin, because if you measure from the 6-pin 12 volt, which you can't see again because I can't octopus the camera. Let's see, I'll try hug it. There. So if I go from here to a capacitor, and then you can't see the multi... Damn it. There we go. So, there. See? That's 0. So that's going from 12 volts to 12 volts. And this is ground to ground. So that's also 0. So that's normal. That's also ground. That's also ground. That's all ground. And actually, if you want to check ground really quickly, you just put ground versus screw. So that's proof that that's ground, because screwed, your heatsink is grounded against the card. So in case anybody thinks I mixed up my pins, and 12 volts obviously has several kilo ohms of resistance to ground, because just how there's components everywhere. So that sort of covers it. So 6-pin fuels the V-Core VRM, and it's wired like an 8-pin, which is pretty badass. So you can actually push a ton of power through the 6-pin right here. The problem is, and then actually, let's keep tracing down here. So there's two. Okay, you're not going to see that at all. So there's these 2 pads here that are like, well, 4. See those? Yeah. So those 4 unsoldered pads. Focus, damn it. There we go. These 4 unsoldered pads right there are actually between so those go from one side of that is the 12-volt plane of the PCIe. The others are the 6-pin. So if you wanted to, you could actually pull the 6-pin to the 12-volt plane, and that should unload the PCIe slot, because this is actually closer to the 6-pin. So that should have much less resistance if you solder that correctly. And even if you don't solder it correctly, it'll pull, as just path of least resistance, it'll aggregate some of the current from your 6-pin. So in theory, that would be a really quick fix to get extra power to the memory VRM. I'm not going to do that today because I want to actually check that that works. So if I ever get I really want to get the equipment to test that. And I think if you just solder right over those, just short them out, then you're going to actually just get lower PCIe power draw. Because it looks like AMD was planning on putting some kind of resistors there to balance the 6-pin and the PCIe, but then they couldn't for some reason, probably because the V-Core doesn't actually have any way to check if there's what's powering it. And now we have the PCIe is completely dedicated to feeding the memory VRM located up here, and the 6-pin basically takes care of everything else on the card that needs a 12-volt power source. Apparently, the 3.3-volt rail feeds the auxiliary rail located right here, but I haven't had time to check that yet, and I'm not sure if that's correct, so I'll need to check that later. That basically covers AMD's very interesting power plane implementation. So you have lots and lots of power for the core, and not a whole lot of power available for the memory because you're relying on the PCIe slot. And as we've seen, the PCIe slot is getting overdrawn in high memory intensive use cases. So yeah, that's not great. But in theory, if you just short those out, then you should have tons and tons of power on tap, because this can probably handle around 250 watts on its own, just because of how it's set up. So yeah, and actually, if you want to see what an 8-pin looks like with a multimeter, which I did say I would show you. So let's do the 8-pin now. Please stay up. There we go. Stupid pun. There. So if you go on an 8-pin, then you get... Come on. Damn it, read something. And now it's not reading anything. Is it broken? Okay, no, so those are completely shorted. That one doesn't read anything. Those are shorted again. And those ones, yeah, so basically only 3 of those. So in an 8-pin you have 12 volts, and you have 5 you have 5 grounds, but they don't really ground. There's 2 of them are sense. And I can't really show you this, just, you know what, let's just get on with the overclocking. So that sort of covers the 480. So now let's go take a look at the system I'll be using. So many damn cables. There we go. So that's my main computer. I'll just put the card in, and there we go. So this right here is my main system, and let's go over it. So right now the giant, wait, let's get a little bit further back so you can sort of appreciate the scale of this beast. So up front here we have a 480 millimeter EK radiator, 60 millimeters thick. The 2 fans on it are 2,500 RPM. There's no fans on the back right now because I'm changing some stuff around about the water cooling loop. Right now usually the water cooling loop is supposed to cool the 5960X, but since the 5960X is neither cooperating nor actually necessary for, well, today's session to be, you know, really high clocked, it's going to be dedicated to the GPU. So this is a GPU only water block. So yeah, so that's the cooling system I'll switch the RX 480 over to after we're done with the air testing, which will probably be very, very loud and very, very miserable. So other than that, the motherboard is a Rampage 5 Extreme, and I hate this motherboard. I absolutely freaking hate it. So basically, at some point in time, I was capable of running like 2800 CL11 on it, and as of today, I can't get the damn thing to boot most of the time. So, yeah, and I don't think I've degraded the 5960X because the board doesn't even boot when you put it on like load safe defaults. So it's just the board being stupid. I've tried BIOS updates, I've tried a bunch of stuff, and basically at this point, it's like this board either dies, and the RX 480 is the perfect card to try do that, or it somehow survives until I get a Zen CPU and replace the damn thing. So yeah, under the heatsink, so the heatsink's a Fantex PHTC14PE, 2.5K RPM fan again, 2K RPM fan up front here, just to get some extra airflow, which is completely unnecessary because the CPU isn't cooperating. So under that, there's a 5960X that normally does between 4.8 and 4.9 gigahertz, depending on what you needed, you know, what kind of benchmark you want to run. And daily it can run, well, daily I've gotten it to do 4.7, and then the Rampage decided to be stupid, and now it usually runs at stock, barely. So, yeah, that sort of covers the whole system. I don't think I missed anything. So let's power this. Let's power it on and start with the. Let's see. Damn it. There we go. Let's hope that it actually powers on now. I wouldn't be surprised if it blue screens as soon as I try to get it into Windows. So, time to stare at a monitor. And actually, let's see if I can get you closer. Oh, looks like it'll be cooperative for once. And I need to get Skype to shut up, so. Okay, so that's GPU tweak 2. Apparently, for some people, it works really well with the RX 480. I'm not one of those people, so we'll be relying on Wattman and probably later in the stream on volt mods. Because apparently GPU tweak does actually support overvoltage, but my version doesn't. It goes down. It doesn't go up. This was written by idiots. So let's get into, let's just do a baseline test of what 3D Mark looks like with everything at completely stock. And then we'll start pushing it up and up and up and up. So let's just do Firestrike first, and then I'll do Firestrike Extreme, and then we'll do all the other benchmarks listed in the overlay up here. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be using, wait, I said what man? What man? What? Yeah, there goes my pronunciation. To hell with it. I'm not gonna bother. AMD should have picked a better name for their garbage software. Considering that I got decent scores running this on a 9590, it's just gonna boost the physics scores, and that's basically all I need. So the GPU, this one can actually finish Firestrike with 2250 on the memory. So you can't actually push it higher than that without, something other than how do you pronounce it? Wattman? Watt? It's a watt, no? Yeah, Wattman. 4 gig RX 480 shouldn't have the power problem because because of the way the powers are set up. I think the 4 gig should be fine because it's 4 gigs of GDDR5. It's clocked lower and there's less RAM, so it shouldn't pull as much power. But unless somebody actually tested, I have no idea. So yeah, and I don't have the testing equipment for it, so that's kind of annoying. Well, I would have the testing equipment for it if this worked, but as of right now, it reads 15 amps. No matter, there's nothing in there. 16 amps. So yeah, and I have no idea how that broke. I think it broke when it was in my suitcase when I was traveling when I was traveling with it. So I think that's how it broke. And basically since then I can't get it to do current measurement. It's still useful as a multimeter and for everything else except current. So yeah. Physics, even with a stock 5960X, isn't a complete slideshow. Oh my god, this is actually the first time I'm running a benchmark on this at stock. I'm not too worried about not having all of the CPU power available, because right now the guy holding all of the scores I want to take is using a 5.4, 5.2 gigahertz 6700K on dry ice. And 3D Mark is not GPU bottlenecked in no, it's not CPU bottlenecked in the GPU tests in the slightest. You can, yeah, it's not like, say, Unigine Heaven, where if you don't have a high enough clocked CPU, once you get a strong enough GPU, it basically just disintegrates and scores really badly. Ooh, okay, so just under 12K. You can't see anything, obviously, so let's get you close. So and obviously I'm smart enough to put the mouse over it. So just under 12,000, and that's because now I'll just pull up the power limit and it'll probably go right back up into the 12,000s. So, yeah. Let's see, Global Wattman. This thing is so obnoxious. You know why else it's obnoxious? So if we have GPU-Z here, look at that, right? All I have, damn it, I put my camera, there we go, camera cable under chair. So there we go. So right now, all that's running is AMD's stupid overclocking app, and the card is going all the way to 1266, which is just ridiculous. And if I close the stupid app, oh no, it'll not behave because 3D Mark's in the background. If I minimize 3D Mark, will it stop? There we go, now it goes to 300. So yeah, AMD's stupid app puts unnecessary load on the GPU, which is just like, why? Why couldn't they give me something that looks almost as bad as my Windows install? But oh well. Or maybe they could have had like an option to make it really ugly. Because there's no reason, I don't need 90% of the stuff that this app offers. I mean, all the pretty UIs. Plus, this slider is really inaccurate. It goes up to 2000. Why? Why does it go up to 2000? Nobody using LN2 is ever going to use this app. So let's just, all right, I just said we're going to run it at stock. So reset, yes. And I'm going to pull up the power limit. So let's see what it does now. Shut GPU Z. This is with tessellation on, and with HW bot rankings, you don't need to run tessellation. So when I actually go for like proper full-on runs, it's tessellation off, which also makes the cards clock higher because tessellation puts extra load on the GPU, just GPU core in general. So yeah, turning off tessellation gives extra megahertz, and it also means the card doesn't have to do tessellation, which I did a test on how much impact tessellation has on the graphics score of 3D Mark, and if you just going from AMD optimized to no tessellation, it basically gains like 9% more FPS. So yeah, that's really nice. So yeah, what else? Right, so my other plans for the RX 480 is I really want to try BIOS modding the card. Because I've already looked at the BIOS. It doesn't look super complicated. It might actually be relatively easy to mod. Um, Actually, it should be pretty easy to mod. But right now the problem I'm running into is I can't find a flashing tool to flash the card. I tried DOS and I tried ATI flash, and neither of them works. Neither of them picks up the card. So until there's an ATI flash update, I can't make any custom BIOSes. I've already located core clock and memory clock. So yeah, and I'm very suspicious I found power, the power setting. So Wattman's 50% limit, yeah, to hell with it. Once I figure out how to get the memory, well, I mean, I don't have to really figure it out. Once I put the memory on the same 12-volt power source as the rest of the card and add an extra 6-pin, then I'm gonna put the BIOS level power limit all like as high as it goes, which I think will be around 256 watts, unfortunately. But right now I also need, like, I still need a custom card to come out with a custom power limit to figure out where, like, if I'm actually correct about that value. Because I'm just suspecting that it's the right value. I'm not 100% sure right now. Especially compared to the Fury X BIOSes, which I know better. It's like, it's in the same sort of area, but it's not there's not enough of the values because in a Fury X you have 3 power limits, and on the RX 480, if my suspicion is correct, there's 1, which is just like, what? Why? Why is there only 1? So yeah. So FPS went up from just slamming the power slider, so that's really unfortunate for anyone. Yeah, yeah, that's really unfortunate. So if you have the card right, you get really screwed over badly by the stock power limit. That's stock clocks. I didn't do anything but raise the power limit. So, yeah, you get really badly screwed when you get the card and don't touch any settings in Wattman. So, yeah. Oh well. Let's start actually pushing it. So, what do I need to beat? Do I need to beat? What was it? Da. Oh wait, no, that's the. I don't want to break that. I want to break. Did I break the chat? Please tell me I didn't break the chat. Oh, that's been broken for ages, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Damn it. Give me a second. Oh. Oh, it's focused on the wrong window. Ah, that makes sense. There we go. Now it's on the chat. I'm an idiot. Oh well. I need to get better at this streaming business. Wait, so how do I check scores now? I don't have another system that'll work. Uh-oh. Okay, that didn't break it. Will this break it? That didn't break it either. Ooh, so as long, okay, okay, so that's fine. So let's see, what do I need to do? So for Fire Strike, RX 480. No, that's Ultra. Oh, this is going to be a walk in the park. Even with the CPU handing in completely substandard results. Okay, so I need to hit around 15,000 graphics score. Oh crap, he's actually beating me on physics. Oh no, this is going to be harder than I thought. Technically, I'm kind of cheating with the 596CX, but hey, whatever. So let's start slamming sliders. And of course it crashes, because it's so very, very stable. Luckily, as long as the driver doesn't crash, the driver doesn't break. But once the driver crashes, you need to restart the entire system. So, frequency, voltage control, though that doesn't actually do anything. Memory control, boom, there. Let's just do that for now, and I'll disable tessellation now. So, tessellation, override, off. And that, and let's see what that does. So I'm aiming for 15.5K, and he's not running tessellation either, so I don't even feel bad about doing this. It's just rules. Oh, damn it. Camera. Camera cooperate. Oh, there we go. I need to... Yeah, okay, wait. I'll take it off of the autofocus. There we go. The card is really, really temperature sensitive. So after this, you might end up hearing what I refer to as the jet takeoff. Because I'll just put the fan profile to 5.2K. And that's really the only way to get any kind of decent core clocks out of the card. Because basically once the core of the card goes over 70 degrees, it just clocks way, way, way worse. And if you pushed it under 60, which is what I hope to achieve with the water loop, though the water loop should push it into like the low 40s, because it's just so incredibly overkill. You know, in the low 40s, I don't know, 1400 might be doable. So, yeah. I'm like, it'd be really cool if I got 1500 megahertz today, but I don't think I'm not that optimistic right now, because so far what I've seen, the card is pretty eh. Um, and also, I really don't trust myself with doing vault mods on live streams, because I try to rush them and then they just like fall apart completely. So by the time we actually get to the volt modding section, instead of just adding capacitors and stuff, then, and even adding capacitors on this will be hard, just because of the PCB layout on the back. So yeah, after I max it out on air, we're going to pull off the heatsink, take a look at the cooling system that is so grossly inadequate because, I don't know. I really don't know why they had, well, I guess, budget card for budget gaming. So, ambient temperature right now. Oh wait, my thermal probe is like right in front of the power supply. Give me a second. Should I put my thermal probe right in front of Right in front of the card. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, let's do that. And let me just put the OC panel into OC. Damn it. This thing is... So, temperature right in front of the RX 480 is around 26 degrees. I think if I cracked open a window, that would probably go down. Actually, no, it's like 25. Damn it, this probe won't stay. Give me a second. I'll solve that. Hop. Damn it. Probe got in the fan. There we go. And probe won't stay. Damn it. Stupid fucking cables. There. Okay, yeah, 25 degrees intake. So, almost 14,000. No tessellation and high memory clock. I don't think we're memory bottlenecked right now. So, though the core... So, interestingly enough, once I clock the core up, the card does scale with memory clock just fine. So yeah, that's 13, just under 1400. So let's keep pushing, because we haven't even touched the core clock yet, and I plan to touch the core clock a lot. In all the power states. So, yeah, so the guy who beat me has 15,500. Well, the guy currently at the top of the ranking has a total score, well, graphics score of 15,000. So let's go take, actually, yeah, jet engine mode, engage. Speed. Apply. My ears are gonna bleed. Can anybody hear that? You can't hear that. You're so lucky. Praise the microphone. Okay, so let's start giving it some extra core clock. And we can't actually give it extra core voltage, because, you know, give us a core voltage setting where you can't go over the default voltage. What? Why is that there? Just, like, why? It's just, like, it's just teasing me. It's obnoxious. I'd rather have no setting. It would work out the same way. Either way, I'm just going to throw the same power level everywhere so that the card really can't downclock until it basically catches fire, which it shouldn't. And now we'll see if the Rampage... Well, actually, no, the Rampage should have exploded when I did the memory overclock. So since the Rampage still hasn't caught fire, AMD's flaunting of power limitations apparently doesn't matter too much to really high-end motherboards. So let's hit it with some more Fire Strike. And this 1350 overclock, I know that works. Okay, actually, let's go over to the jet engine before I run this. There, that's the mic right in front of the fan. I don't know if anybody here heard that. So, yeah, yeah, that's the jet engine. It's louder than my 2,500 RPM fans. So, yeah, admittedly, those are like really, really expensive 2,500 RPM fans, but still. Let's run the Fire Strikes. I actually don't know what I expect. Let's see. Let's take out a calculator and take an educated guess. So 1350 over 1266 is 1.6. So the current score is like 13,900. Huh, I should be scoring just under 15K. I'm not really that brave. I just really, really hate the Rampage. I'd love an excuse to replace the damn thing. And kind of don't want an excuse to replace the damn thing. Right now, what I'm thinking about, well, how is turning tests off still valid on Hardware Bot? Because on NVIDIA they have LOD tweaks On NVIDIA, they turn off their textures, we turn off the tessellation. You know, so, yeah. GPU intake temperature is 24 degrees. I think engaging the jet engine might have had something with the temperature drop. Current setup, clock right now is 1350 megahertz by 2250 megahertz. Two more tests to go. That guy is super lucky that my Rampage decided to crap out a week ago. Because if it didn't, then I'd be getting like 24K in physics, which I pushed for the Fury X's. Oh yeah, actually, talking about past issues with PCIe slots. So, as far as I'm aware, I've never ever heard of anybody burning out PCIe slots, which is why I'm like, I have no idea what to say about the RX 480 overdrawing it. The thing is, from what I've heard, the only issues ever with PCIe power was when people stuck 4 high-end GPUs in a motherboard and it overloaded the 24 pin. It didn't overload the PCIe slots. It basically just burnt the 24 pin, and yeah. So actually, with the 480s, yeah, if you had 3 of them, you should probably consider, if you have one of those motherboards with the extra PCIe power connector, definitely useful. No power modding right now, no. And actually, I don't plan to do any physical power mods on the card because I want to test BIOS mods first. And if I physically mod the card, then it's not gonna, you know, I won't be able to do, well, I won't be able to test if the BIOS mods worked. So, yeah. So we're already hitting 14,700, so that's actually like 100 points off of my estimate. Let's keep pushing. It's not crashing yet, and this isn't worth submitting. So yeah, so 14,700 and 12,000 overall. So I still need the guy who, yeah, so I'm actually only, so here's I'm going to drop the score I need to beat down in the chat. I need to beat that. That's what I need to beat. I'm not far. That guy's going to get his score just destroyed in the coming hour, maybe. So, yeah. Unfortunately, this isn't really fair. He's on an i7 and I'm on a 5960X. He has a lot more work to do with all the dry ice and stuff, so, yeah. This is kind of cheating. Oh well. So, more gigahertz. I mean megahertz. This is not an NVIDIA yet. And it's gonna crash. And I'm gonna have to open it again. Now it's gonna work. God, I hate Wattman. Okay, I'll just turn all this monitoring off. Maybe it'll help the GPU shut. Yeah, okay, so I think the highest I've ever tested was 1380, like successfully. So I'm just gonna put 1370 everywhere to start it off. And apply, close, benchmarks, run. So yeah, now I'd be expecting to, what? Touch 15,000. Just barely touch 15,000. I'm really annoyed about not having memory overclocking working. And actually, I'd probably, that's, so yeah, actually my statement on the PCIe slot thing is don't overclock the memory and you should be fine. Just don't touch the memory if you don't really want to kill your board. Oh, look, it's artifacting. That's probably going to drop dead. I guess I will open a window. Oh, right, I can't open any links in the Twitch chat because it'll break the chat on the stream. Damn it. I need to figure out a better way to do that. Well, I'm sorry about any of the extremely noisy traffic outside my window. I live on one of the busier streets in my town. So, well, city, not town. This is about the limit for air cooling, as far as I'm concerned. This is probably the end. 10 more megahertz and it'll probably crash in the first graphics test. So the first graphics test in Firestrike is really, really heavy. Um, so, yeah. Basically, if you're looking at Firestrike power draw, first test way heavier than second test. And I know this because when I was running 3 Fury X's, oh, you're not hearing it right now. Nobody's driving a motorbike. But when I was running 3 Fury X's, on graphics test 1, it would black screen until I added a second power supply to the system. And I have a 1600 watt power supply. I'm running my main power supply is the EVGA G2 1600 watt. Well, undervolt the core with the clock OC'd. I don't know, I might try it. Could be interesting. But I don't think it'll... I don't know, maybe it could help scores, but I don't know if it'll actually help, I don't think it'll help core clocks. Unless the card is, like, really, really heavy on the voltage from the factory. And, whoa, that did not go up at all. So I guess we've found the... Yeah, that did not go up at all. Raise the power limit would be my suggestion right now, but we can't. This sucks. Oh well. More gigahertz. I mean megahertz. Whatever. Actually, let's try drop the core clock, well, the core voltage just a tad. I think 1125. Just that, and see if maybe the reduced temperature and power consumption doesn't let the card run more effectively. Might help. Yeah, so yeah, my PSU is original. Oh crap! I left the stupid app open. That would ruin the score. So there. Now I can run it. Yeah, EVGA's G2 is made by Superflower. Like, the platform is from Superflower. It's like LEDX or something. Let's see what the... Huh, so apparently right now from the wall, I'm pulling 1.43 amps. And that's on UK power, so that's 240 volts. So the full power consumption of the whole system right now is 240 times 1.4, around 336 watts. Yeah, most power supplies are rebrands. There's very few companies that actually build power supplies. There is Tektronix, which makes the some of the I series for Corsair. There's Channelwell Technology. Well, there's a bunch of companies, but they make all of the power supplies. Yeah, there's Delta, which makes a lot of Antec power supplies, and those are great. There's Seasonic and there's Superflower. Those are the big three. Those are the big three power supply companies that are like really, really good at power supplies. Anything made by Superflower, Seasonic, or Delta should be really good. Delta only really makes server power supplies, and they also make power supplies for Antec. And Seasonic supplies Cooler Master, Corsair. Oh, and it crashed. Well, that's fun. I think we're at the limit of the crappy air cooler. So time to rip the air cooler to hell. And, yep. Let's see if the AMD driver recovers. I don't think it will. And I don't got the patience for this. So let's turn this off. Shut up! Oh my god, it actually recovered. Okay. Ah, silence at last. Damn it, I keep tripping on the cables. I need to get like a wireless camera or something. This really doesn't work. So time to tear down the graphics card. Whoop. And upgrade it with a water block. Oh, this is going to be super awkward. At least I have my overly long tubing, so that's going to work. Right, DisplayPort cable. Don't forget to pull that out. So, interesting thing about this card is you can take apart the whole cooler assembly with one screwdriver, but you can't unmount the base plate. So let's see. Yeah, okay, you can actually see what I'm doing. So let's get a screwdriver. And where did I put it? Why do I always forget to prepare screwdrivers? Should be buried somewhere on this desk. There it is. Okay, so let's roll. So to remove the top shroud right here, this black thing, which is incidentally completely made of plastic, and these guys right here, they're fake. They're not actual screws. They're also made of plastic. You can't remove this part right here. And that's all plastic. So, yeah. And the sides are plastic and all of this shiny stuff, it's plastic. So, yeah. Apparently AMD really does think plastic is fantastic, but I don't really think that plastic is fantastic, because actually this plastic shroud is also contributing to the noise output of the heatsink, because it just rattles once you put it at 5.2k RPM. Though, to be fair, at 5.2k RPM, it doesn't really matter what you have, it's going to be loud. And obviously, you're not going to see anything. It's really lightweight, so when you push a lot of airflow through it, it reverberates. But that doesn't really matter, because a lot of airflow at 5.2k RPM doesn't really get much quieter than loud, so yeah, but still, I don't really like it. At least it's easy to take this apart. So, up. 3 screws up top. I don't know why I put all 3 of them back. I shouldn't have bothered. And 3 down here. And that's all you need to get the shroud off, and then you can unmount the core heatsink. And then you can basically swap out for a GPU-only water block. Though I don't know if all of them will fit. I know the EK1 fits just fine with the normal base plate, so it actually doesn't make any sense to buy a full cover water block for this, because the whole point of a full cover water block is that you get to cool your VRMs. But with how expensive full cover water blocks are, I think that's completely stupid. Because you could just stick a fan on this and use a normal GPU-only water block, which will be compatible with any non-HBM GPU for the coming future. And other than that, you'll still have decent VRM temperatures because you stuck a fan over a giant block of aluminum that's sitting on the VRM. And you'll get great core temperatures. So, yeah, at like half the cost of a full cover block. Unless EK plans to release the RX 480 block at a reasonable price, which I kind of doubt, because a lot of the people who go into water cooling don't really care about the performance per dollar, but more about how pretty it looks. And if you saw my computer, then you understand that I don't care about how pretty it looks. Except maybe for the Monster Energy drink can. So here, we have the cooler disassembled. And this pathetic little thing here is called a heatsink. And it's just It's just an aluminum block, and there's a little bit of copper in the base of it, but there's no heat pipes. It doesn't even extend, you know. They could have totally just extended the fins longer. Like if you look at like a HD 4870 heatsink, then it's a copper block, and then it has heat pipes that extend into an extended fin stack. So it's like, yeah. So this is by far the crappiest stock cooler I've ever taken apart. Um, then again, I've never taken apart a stock like R7 series card, so you know, kind of biased. So let's see, pull this off, and obviously you can't see anything because my camera work. Oh well. By the way, I've taken this card apart like 3, 4, maybe 5 times now. So the thermal paste job on there is kind of garbage and not the stock one, which was also still kind of garbage. And there really wasn't much of a temperature difference between, yeah. I mean, actually, that's decent, considering I didn't reapply thermal paste twice. So, yeah, that's that. Now we need to put a water block on it and clean the damn thing off. So, yep. Let's get my alcohol, clean the card off, and then mount the GPU block on it so that it'll work. I'm not sure what thermal paste I'll use. I'll probably use what I have left of my Cooler Master Care package, if you could call it that. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm just going to reuse the Cooler Master Care package. There we go. And this should be the end of this. I don't really want to use any of my better, well, I have one better thermal paste, but I'm sort of saving that up for LN2, so yeah. And I'm not gonna argue with anybody about how I do my thermal paste jobs. I just spread them, so gonna have to wait a while I ready this. That looks good to me, more or less. Once I put the block on, it'll probably help a little bit. Oh, I don't like this edge here, so there we go. And that's that. So let's get the block on there and see how it does on water cooling. So this loop was only leak tested for basically from today morning because I had to refill the fluid after I unmounted the CPU block, and this will be interesting. So I'm going to have to do some gymnastics to get this on without pulling it apart. Well, that's going to be fun. Let's see. Okay, well, so I'm just using, I don't even know what the name of this block is. So I'm just using the old, I think it was the older model EK universal water block. No idea what the actual name is. Basically, let's see. It comes with screws that go in like this, right? So I don't know if you can see that. There's a screw down there now. And they have standoffs, and obviously you can't see anything, and you basically just screw them together. So yeah. And since this is going straight into the grounding plane, I'm not gonna, I don't need a washer because that's a ground plate. That's what it's meant for. It's meant to be in contact with heatsink screws. So that's that. Get the other ones in, and once that's done, just stick the water block on it. So the cool thing is you can actually mount this basically toolless. So yeah, that's nice. So and last little thing for the heatsink to go on, and then it's throw the heatsink on and springs and then nuts, and then it's mounted. So this is actually super, super quick. Hopefully the fittings won't interfere with the edge of the bracket, but I think it'll be fine from my test fits that I did. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Now please, okay, this is gonna be fun. Oh, that was a dumb idea. That's not gonna work. Put the card down. There we go. Just align this, and this is really... Oh, it fits. Yes. Does it? Yeah, it clears it. See? Clears. Just clears the plate. So you don't actually need to buy a water block for this thing, which is great. This is probably the only reason why I would buy the reference card, because the cooler as it is sucks. But at least you get a free base plate, which cools your VRM and fits with a universal block, so you can save a lot of money if you don't want to buy a full cover block, but still want really good core temperatures, which you kind of need, because the card is temperature sensitive. So, there we go. This one on. Alright, so now I'll actually use the damn tool that came with this, instead of trying to thumb it. And this is going to be super not successful, right? It work? Okay, that one's down. Here, so that's more or less mounted now. So now I'll just finish it off. Ugh. Oh, the pain that I go through with this crap. The proper way to do this would be to mount your water block, then screw in the fittings, then attach the tubing. But obviously that would be really... Then I'd have to leak test it and fill the water loop, and then there'd be bubbles in the loop and all that garbage. So we don't have time for that. So I decided to do it this way. And this way really sucks. Okay, that one's caught now. Whoomp. One last one to go. Yay. And what the hell? Where did the last nut go? Oh, there it went. Got it. There's actually supposed to be a bunch of plastic O-rings in between all of this, but I sort of skipped them. So, yeah. This is going absolutely perfect. If this doesn't leak, I will be very surprised not. I mean, I did leak test it extensively. So, yeah. There we go. So now I just need to tighten all this down. And core temperatures, hooray. I'm not even going to unmount this. I'm just going to strap an extra fan over there. And that's going to be run off the motherboard. And yeah. The whole stream should be on YT by YouTube by Saturdays. Should be by Monday, maybe even tomorrow, depending on how quickly Twitch gets it onto YouTube and how quickly YouTube processes the whole thing. These are super. There we go. Gently does it. So now the core temperatures should be great. So I'll actually show you GPU Z shots with this on the card, because obviously there's no point talking about how great the core temperatures are without showing them to you. So let's throw that away, and let's stick the card in the system. And here is why I have such ridiculously long tubing. Because it just barely reaches over the freaking... Yeah. Because I knew when I first built this loop that one day I would do something stupid like this. So, oh right, I needed to attach the fan. Oh well, we'll just throw a fan in front of it. Oh look, how convenient. Boom, solved. VRM temperatures. So, how does the card look? Mounted? Wait, where did that screw go? There. Go. No, that's not lined. So, how does the horrible monstrosity... It's actually still 2-slot, which is surprising. Well, if you ignore the fan. I can't see anything. So, fan, baseplate, card, get the idea. So without the fan, this is actually still 2-slot, because as you can see, there's your slot, and actually you could probably throw the GPU cover right on it if you cut out holes for the tubing. So if you were so inclined and you wanted to have your card still look good, you could take that plastic cover, cut out holes right here, and, you know, cover it up. But obviously I don't care. I want more cooling. So that's how we're going to run this. So now let's see if this actually fires up, and I'm gonna get the camera up higher so that you can see that. Hopefully it doesn't explode. There. I mean, you still can't see anything. Oh well. 6-pin. And this is gonna be so bad. This is gonna be such a... Oh, what'd you know? It's not exploding. Oh no, it's not working for some reason. Why is it? Where's the problem? Do we... Okay, so yeah, that's just hiding... This energy drink is hollow. It's not an actual energy drink. It's just hiding the reservoir. So... I'm not seeing the water level go down much. I'm joking. It's fine. It's not leaking, I hope. Well, that sure doesn't sound reassuring. AA. Ah, I'm an idiot. It booted into Windows. It's all the way in Windows. That's why it sounds like a jet engine right now. Give me a second. I forgot to plug in the monitor. I'm a genius. Oh, and there. Now it shut up. See? Give it a sec. Oh no, it decided to die. Why did it die? Please don't die again. The water still hasn't gone down much, so I don't think it's leaking. I really hope it isn't leaking. Though by now the system shouldn't work if it was leaking. Windows! Yay! Okay. So for some reason, it crashes right after it loads Windows. So I need to figure what that is. Probably some kind of AMD driver stuff. Nope, Windows is working. Still working. Well, actually, to be fair, without the plastic shroud, the jet engine sounds a lot less jet engine-y. Listen. Slightly better than before, but not much of a massive improvement. So let's check those temperatures. Where's GPU Z? Can you actually see anything? Oops, left the alcohol. Oh, and I opened up CPU ID. Oh well, let's see. Sensors, core temperature. Holy, what? Wait, what? No, no way. What's my water temperature? I think the GPU temperature, it says 20. 19 now. No. No. It can't be. It can be that cold. It's physically impossible. My room is at 20. Well, actually, I don't know what my room's at. Okay, so I put the temperature probe right on the side of the water reservoir. But that's reading 20. I have no idea why it's doing that. Huh? 20 degrees is 20 degrees. Why would I complain? See? We're idling at 20. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is wrong, because this right here is saying 25.9, and that's on this wire, which leads to the water reservoir. Admittedly, this might take a while before it actually registers properly. You know what? I'll just stick it in the water. That'll probably be the quicker way to do this. So, yep. Oh wait, my whole room is gonna... Oh well. It's not like it doesn't already smell like alcohol. I've just probably gotten so used to it. Well, isopropanol. I should check if that's actually an alcohol. It probably is. I mean, the name suggests it. Now, where the hell did my wrench go? Hmm. Oh, there it went. Okay, so let's figure out what temperature my water's at, because this doesn't seem physically possible. And I do like believing that physics works. Because if physics doesn't work, then I need to go start studying magic and stop studying computer science. Okay, that sensor is completely retarded because the water's at 20. Wait, no, it's dropped. No, it's at 25. Water's at 25. Okay, the sensor's retarded. Okay, so GPU, it has no... Wait a minute. If it just dropped by 5 degrees, when... Could that possibly mean the card actually runs 5 degrees hotter than it actually... So GlowFlow can't make temperature sensors. I mean, we've already seen the FX series temperature sensors, so... Yeah. I guess that's understandable. Let's see if it runs 1400 now. I mean, we got cooling for days, so why not? And did I put that in correctly? Yep. Apply and close. Okay, let's see what 3D Mark looks like with this. I'm going to leave GPU-Z running in the background just so we can check the GPU temperatures. I don't expect it to go over 30. This is going to be badass. Ugh. Okay, so actually while Firestrike is running, power limit shouldn't hit. If this is GlowFlow with all the glory of GlowFlow, then this should actually run much more efficient now just because of the water cooling and less leakage. And it crashed. Card sucks. Wait a minute. Isn't the voltage still reduced? The voltage is still reduced, isn't it? Oh wait, I can't open the AMD driver. So here's what happens when the... See that? That's why you should use a normal people UI. That looks like Windows... Whatever, I don't know. I've never used that version of Windows which actually looked like this. Oh well, now I gotta restart the system. I think I have the voltage set low. So... Okay, so isopropanol is an alcohol, I guess. According to the chat. Will I try MSI Afterburner? MSI Afterburner doesn't currently, there's no update saying that it works. So no. Oh, there's the jet engine. Okay, well, time to deal with my... Man, this software is gonna give me so much pain on /r/overclocking, because somebody's gonna do this, right, without realizing that they've done it, and they're gonna set like 1800 or something, and then the computer boots, it tries to go to state 1, insta crashes, and they're gonna say they broke their computer. And then it's gonna be the whole safe mode reinstall drivers thing, because I still don't know a better way of dealing with it. So extra voltage applied. Let's hope this actually freaking works now. If it doesn't, then there's the soldering pen, and the soldering pen cares not for petty software limitations. Noted about the using Task Manager to restart the AMD driver when it crashes. I'll try that. I've so rarely managed to crash just the driver that I never actually knew that's a thing. I didn't close Wattman. Oh, to hell with it. We'll see if the score is bad. Oh look, now it's okay. Kinda. Oh wait, I forgot to open GPU-Z so you don't get to check the temperatures. Oh well. I'll go punch whatever. We'll do a second run and I think I'm seeing some artifacts. Yeah, I need more voltage. Way more voltage. Interestingly enough, I did do voltage checks on the entire card. Uh, check the temperatures in Wattman. Oh yeah, I'll check those. So, as the what looks choppy, the stream, that might be because my MSI laptop is trying to commit suicide running this. So, yeah, poor MSI laptop. Because it doesn't look this choppy in real life. That's probably just the camera combined with Open Broadcaster not dealing with it. What's going on? Why does it crash? Somebody just entered. Wait, so you entered. How much do you know about overclocking, Mr. GG Robot No Mail? Yeah, when I was testing out the stream earlier, I melted my chocolate with it. So, yeah, my MSI laptop melted all my fucking chocolate. So, it's like, yep. And then it tried to melt my gummy bears. And then it tried to cook my energy drink. Try unplug the GPU fan. True. I'll. You know what? I'll try that just for the hell of it. It'll save like 2 watts or something. Or 5. Actually, at 5.2k RPM, that fan could actually be decently power hungry. Could. I need to check the rating on the back of it. I run isopropyl in my loop. It doesn't do anything to copper. So, it's my anti-growth additive. So, and so far I haven't seen the loop like screw up or anything, and the CPU block looks fine after two or 3 months of isopropyl and water, so it's fine. Did that just finish? Oh, that just finished, and it didn't implode. The score still sucks. The score still sucks, and it looks like I'll need to actually deal with the CPU today. Ah, I hate the rampage. Okay, well, here... Oh, look. Wait, what? Temperature... Oh, just barely got over 30. Yeah, 31. Does that software... Wait, I've never actually... So, wait. It never went over 31. Hell yeah! That's awesome! Now it's apparently at 22. Which one of these is temperature? Oh, the red one, right? Yeah, red one's I don't see a difference in that temperature graph. This thing is beast. Yep, the water definitely paid off. Let's see if we can do more. But I'm not happy because it's not scaling at all. So I guess I'll reduce the jet engine, and hopefully when the jet engine shuts up, then the card will actually have more juice for the rest of the system. Ah, silence. I forgot what it sounds like. I can finally enjoy the glory of my own lovely voice. That's a joke. Kinda. Uh, so yeah, next up, we need to actually give it extra voltage. And GPU Tweak should, in theory, support that. Except GPU Tweak doesn't work for me. And I can't be arsed figuring out how it works, so we're just going to ask the soldering pen about how to get extra voltage. Which will be even more awkward than me trying to mount a water block, because with mounting a water block is still relatively large things. Volt modding is a lot of really, really, really little things. So that's going to be really fun to watch. I'm worried that even with the volt mods, it won't do anything because it looks like the card is completely power limited, and I refuse to do power mods on this voltage controller. It's hell. I like SMD soldering. It's like it's bad enough when you're just trying to hook up a wire and then pull that wire somewhere else so that you can hook up a potentiometer. It's even worse when what you're doing is basically you need to solder resistors in just SMD resistors onto existing SMD resistors or replace existing SMD resistors. I don't have the equipment for that, and it really, really sucks. That is like the most painful kind of modification ever. If the score goes up, then that fan is one hella power hungry fan. Oh right, I forgot to close the stupid ass software, which I said myself lowers scores. Damn. Oh well, we have plenty of time. The water's kinda getting warm, with the fans like barely spinning. The water temperature, the probe right now in the water is reading 27 degrees. So that's actually, so that actually, tells you that the delta temperature from water to GPU is like, what, 4 or 5 degrees, which is awesome. So my thermal paste job was on point, and that water block is good, really good. Or this GPU just doesn't put out any heat. One of the two. Yeah, my recommendation for buying an RX 480 is don't buy the reference one. The stock cooler sucks. Really, really badly. I could BIOS mod the power limit if I had something to flash the BIOS with. As of right now, I can't flash it with ATI Flash. I tried ATI Flash from DOS, and I tried ATI Flash from Windows. Neither version of ATI Flash recognizes the RX 480. Until that gets an update, I can't do anything. So, yeah. Holy crap, the score went up. Like, seriously, it went up a little. Barely. Not really. Okay, let's close the dumb app, and I open CPU-Z. Oh well. This is not a fully stripped down version of Windows. I should be scoring more on physics, but well, basically I decide, like, every time I try to strip down Windows, I basically end up at a point where it stops working for a period of time, and I decided I don't want to, like, for the minimal gain that it'll get me, I didn't want to bother with that. So this is not a fully optimized version of Windows. And honestly, with the fact that the 5960X isn't even behaving, that's just like, eh, it doesn't super matter. So, right, I just needed to close this. There, finally, yay. Um, Apparently I need more caffeine. I have to be honest with you, I'm actually on a really low amount of sleep because for some reason I went to sleep at 2 and then I woke up at like 6. So I'm like on 4 hours of sleep, and it's now 6. So I've been awake for 12 hours. Well, now it's well past 6. So I've been awake for 13 hours after only sleeping 4. And so I am very much mentally here. Wait, gotta get that link. New window. There we go. Oh, come on. There. Wait. Does this BIOS editor include a flashing system? Well, here's my main current problem with Polaris is I can't flash the damn thing. So, like, I for some reason I can't get it to pick up, and I've tried DOS, and if DOS doesn't work, then I don't know what to do. Stream started about an hour ago. I don't think, very new to this Twitch thing, so if there's like any special commands that work on other channels, they don't work on this one. So, yeah. Well, not super new to this Twitch thing, I've just never looked into it too much. There we go. Please be over 15,000 graphics. No, just... Oh, come on! Oh, come on. 997. 7 more, 3 more points, damn it. Obnoxious little card. Oh well. Doesn't seem to be... So yeah, temperature scaling seems to be great. So, let's see. Wrong keyboard. 1410? I'm going to take it up slowly at this point because obviously we're sort of in the upper reaches. But yeah, definitely cooling the card helps a lot. And voltage should also help, and we don't have voltage right now, but I'll add voltage later. Manually. So, yeah. Let's do another pass. Now it has to do 1500. Yeah, we just finished at 1400. Nope, we just finished at 1400. Maxed out power target. I don't know any other power setting. My favorite power setting is no limit, but unfortunately that one tends to break things. 1150 millivolts on the core voltage. If I lower it, it's going to crash. I've already confirmed that. And it's artifacting. Well, I guess I'm going to go for we're going to be pulling out the soldering pen pretty soon. Unless people want to see me fight the rampage. Which will probably be just a bunch of Windows doesn't boot up, Windows doesn't boot up, the BIOS doesn't boot up, Windows doesn't boot up, resets BIOS, Windows boots up, goes back into BIOS, changes a few things, doesn't work again. Mind you, you know what breaks my... Like, I can't boot the freaking boot the system if I just set the OC tuner into manual mode. I don't even have to do anything. I don't even have to like set any clocks or voltages or anything, and it'll stop working. So I've basically given up on it. Why don't you have a screen capture and web camera? We can see it better that way. 'Cause screen capture stuff costs money. And I spend all my money on computer parts. So yeah, but the capture card situation is getting sorted by next stream, or yeah, that should be sorted pretty soon. So what pot on the stove? That's not a stove. It's just dirty dishes over there. Please ignore the kitchen. Oh, I can't get you to not see the kitchen. I give up. Bit too much glare. Well, we can try something about the glare, but the thing is, if I take over manual control over the camera, then I'm gonna have to manually, well, it, it'll basically go. No, that's not really helping, is it? I mean, the gain setting is already at minimum, so I only have exposure to play with. So, there we go. You know what? I'll just keep the camera on auto. That seemed to work okay. I mean, sure, you couldn't read anything until I pulled you off the. Oh, we finally broke 1500. So, yep, 1410 megahertz, and the camera won't focus. But that says 1500.079. The X remains of pasta. X pasta. It used to be pasta. Now it's just stuff that needs to go in the garbage. All right, more. Yeah. No. No. To hell with you. There we go. Okay, so 1420. Oh well, somebody wanted 1420. Here's your 1420. And I definitely need more voltage. If I lower the voltage, it just dies. And I also need more power, but I can't get more power. Well, I could get more power. I just really, really don't want to fight with a 3567B. What? You have been noticed. Now what? How to change what? Damn it. Chat. No, stop. Into the chat. Slow the hell down. Thank you very much. Okay. How to change power control limit from plus 20% to plus 50%. It already goes to plus 50%. What am I supposed to do with this? Could... I need like 100% version of this. And right now, I'd rather not be reading about how to do... wait, what happened? Did it just crash? I was looking at the laptop. It crashed, didn't it? Somebody tell me what happened. It crashed. Yeah, no, mine definitely goes to plus 50. Oh yeah, it crashed. Okay, that confirms it crashed. So, and task. That's still broken. Should I shut it down from here? Future mark. I don't see anything else that's from AMD. Yeah? Nope. AMD drivers are still completely screwed. But since it crashed, I do believe it's time to pull out the soldering pen. Oh, look, the Rampage has decided that the memory doesn't work. Yes. Why would I want to underclock the memory? I already checked the memory scaling, and underclocking the memory definitely eats into your performance. So, time for the card to meet its unmaker. Because I'm definitely not going to make anything. If anything, I'm probably going to ruin it. So, oh crap, this means I need to unmount the water block. I never think these things through well enough, do I? Oh well. Time for the soldering pen to meet the graphics card. And I need to pull up a data sheet, because I forgot where the 3567B has its voltage control pin. Oh, this is... oh well, it's not too bad. Up. I'm not going to show you the complicated extrication of a GPU out of a system, so, because honestly, it's not really that hard. Now, if I could just get these... Oh yeah, these are always going to put up a fight, aren't they? Oh well, let's see. How can I get this to unmount? I'm just going to do it the wrong way. Which is that I'm going to unmount... Wait, where's the hell is that second screwdriver? Oh, come on. No, why? Where did it go? No, that's the big one. Oh, there's the little one. Okay, so pull the card out. Definitely not supposed to pull out these screws. You're supposed to... So actually, I will show you what I am doing right now. So right now, we have a card. I don't know if you can see that. Wait, let me just... Ugh, this multitasking. Imagine what these would be like if I had a cameraman. They would be probably about 10% less awful. Let's see. Get these out. You're not supposed to unmount water blocks like this, but at this point I can't be bothered. This is the fastest way to get it out, and then I need to disassemble. Oh my god, those springs, they're gonna break everything. They are so gonna break everything, aren't they? And there we go. Oh, it's free. Please tell me I didn't do any damage to the core. That would suck. Hop. Oh, no, the core looks perfect. So core is fine. Definitely water block works. Definitely worth trying. Basically, if you already have a water loop, this is the most cost-effective way of water cooling one of these stupid things. So now I just need to throw this somewhere here so that it doesn't... Right, there. Stay. Stay. Okay, and let's move on to the soldering. Da-da-da. Which is probably the messiest desk in the whole... There we go. That's my breakfast, isn't it? Yep, that's my breakfast. Okay, so there. Let's get the card over here. Now I need to fully tear it down, pull off all the screws on the back, and get my hands on the rest of the card. Actually, you know what? Let's just throw capacitors on it at the start. You know, like I did on the Fury X's, let's just see what happens if you throw more capacitors. I'm not going to throw anything at the memory, because as I said, I can't do anything about the memory until I get better software support. So, I have a new set of capacitors to use. These are Nichicon FP caps, 1,500 microfarads, 2.5 volts, and they're really, really low ESR, and dirt cheap, so I have 100 of them. So let's see how many capacitors we have on. Now, basically, with capacitor modding, what you got to take into account is basically you're going to ruin the efficiency of whatever you add them to, but it helps clean up the power delivery. So, yeah. And the V-Core VRM is located right here. Its capacitor bank is this slot over here. I think it's just these. Just those. I don't think it's these three up here, but I have to check those for sure. I know two of those are auxiliary, so I don't know if the third one is. And I don't know if you see anything because the laptop is like a mile away now. So yeah, so that means I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that correct? Yeah, 6 of them. And the efficiency goes out the window. This will more than double the bulk capacitance of this VRM. Way more than double. So what this comes with stock is these guys, 2.5 volts and 820 microfarads. These are about twice as big, and I'm going to put twice as many of them there. Well, as many of them there. So, yeah, I'm like pulling it up to 3 times the original capacitance. If I get these to mount properly, which I should be able to. So let's get the lamp running so I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. So, the capacitors out of the way for now. I'm going to have to trim them down, obviously. And these first pack, I think I'm going to do... Let's see, now the painful thing here is usually I like... usually when I do these cap molds, I like to go for these ceramics. Because they're really, you basically just bend the legs a little on a capacitor, and they hook up really easy. But there's no ceramics in this area, and I don't want to solder on the back here because, well, this is hell. Like, yeah, you really, really don't want to go there. That's just pain, lots and lots of pain. If you screw up your soldering, then these things are arranged that generally the grounds are in the same area. But if you pull a ground to a V-core here, you're never gonna fix it, basically, and you're screwed. Um, So, yeah, well, you could fix it if you knocked them all out, and then you'd have to replace them. So you'd be still screwed. So I want to avoid that, which leaves me with no other option than soldering in this onto these legs, which will probably really suck. So this is a tip I made by basically taking a really long pointy tip, which I found kind of pointless, and just cutting it down to fit my needs. And this is really, really useful. I love this tip that I created basically. I love it for volt modding, and I love it for soldering directly onto the ceramics. For these, I don't think it has enough heat capacity. It's probably not going to work very well. But the cool thing is I have this here, so I'm just going to try it first to basically hold my tips when they're hot, because I hot swap them while using them, which probably isn't advisable, but yeah. I don't have the patience to sit around and wait for this to cool off. So I'm just gonna see if I can get any solder on there. If I can get solder on there, then then it's really easy, because the caps will tin super easy. So as long as I get just some kind of starting amount of solder on there, it'll work. Let's go. So this is lead free. So I have to solder at around 300 degrees. I've tried soldering at less, doesn't work. So yeah. And this is why I like this tip. It's basically like a ballpoint pen with solder right at the tip and nowhere else, which, makes it really accurate, because if I see a component, I can just stab it instead of like a chisel tip or something where you have to tilt it to get the right angle, and yeah, that's just painful. So I'd rather go and ruin a few soldering tips than ruin a few graphics cards. That's basically my logic behind this. So first I need to check which way these things are polarity, and then I need to remember which way these go as far as polarity goes. Well, damn. Okay, let's compare it to the ones I actually know where the polarity is. Okay, so the rule with the capacitors is that the shorter leg, like, one leg is shorter for a reason. Okay, so this one's minus. So this side is ground. Short leg goes to ground. And I know these because I use these, so I use these all the time. I use these on the Fury X's, so I know well, those are go. So if that's ground here, then this has to be ground here. So I just need to pull that to ground and we're fine. You might be like, how do you not know this? I'm not that good at remembering stuff. So, well, no, yeah, I'm not really that good at remembering stuff that I can basically Google in 5 seconds if I'm in a pinch. So that would be this. Well, let's try just get this somewhat working. I don't think this is going to bond. Yeah, okay, no, I need to scratch those. So a quick trick for getting, you know, the contacts on stuff to actually be solderable to is scratch them up a little. So just a little. Be very gentle. Don't, slip. If you just scratch them a little, then it'll go way, way easier, and you can do it basically flux free, which you shouldn't do, but hey, if you don't have any flux, then what you gonna do about it? So yeah. And you just want to rough up the surface of the lead because it's obviously really oxidized over, it's covered up in gunk and basically soldering doesn't work when it's messy. So, and I forgot which one I just did. Oh, I did this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna, run over it a few times and that should be enough. If I have enough heat in that pen, then it should work. Because that's how I did all my Fury X's after I figured out. Because I tried doing the Fury X's without this trick and that was hell. I couldn't get a single capacitor to stick for ages and ages and ages. And more solder. And let's please. Okay, yeah, it's starting to freeze onto it. Ah, there we go. Ah, yeah, that's almost working. Needs a little bit more, I think. Yeah, my pen's freezing into it. Yeah, it solidifies with my pen still touching it, so that's great. That's telling me it's actually bonding somewhat. Yep, this seems to have attached itself. Come on. Yeah, okay, so that's more or less ready at this point. It might not be perfect, but... Oh, no, that's falling off still. So that must have just been the flux. Damn it. No, I wish these were ceramics. Those are so much easier to work with. Come on. I'm gonna crank up the temperature. Ah, damn it. 313. Let's see if this helps. Yeah, I think I could solder onto this at this point. Though it's really messy. I'll try clean it up a little so that I don't accidentally touch the other one, because if the capacitors are going from V-core to ground, so if I touch the other one, that's over. And I'll have to clean up everything, and that would suck. Cleaning really, 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 really sucks. So, just want to get it. Yeah, okay, I think that's ready now. I can probably hook up a capacitor to that, and I should have checked what that leg is. Oh well. Where's the multimeter? Here it is. So I check ground against the screws because screws are always ground. That's the easiest way. You can't mess it up because they're always, 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 always ground. Whereas with like 6 pins and stuff, some manufacturers actually figured out how to put the clip in the other way and stuff. So just in case you're not sure which way your 6 pin or some other grounding thing works, just stab the obvious ones, which is screws, or the mounting holes, because obviously those are ground as well. That's how the screws get grounded. So is this ground? Yes, that's indeed ground. Is this V-core? If this is V-core, it should read some form of resistance around Well, did I screw up? Oh. Okay, wait, let me check a different one. Okay, so you have got to be joking. That would be a record for me. Well, this is the thing about 14 nanometers. So, if you try to measure the resistance of a GPU, right, while it's turned off, you're going to get some really low resistances. And basically, with 14 nanometer, with like 28 nanometer, if you measured V-core to ground, you would expect something above 1 ohm. So like 1.2 or 1.3 or 1.7. With this, if I stab here and I stab here, I'm getting 0.9. And if I stab the other one, I'm getting 0.3. So that's really not super enjoyable to work with. So yeah, that's just that makes volt modding hell. Obviously, you can just check which way these are oriented from here, and then, you know, blue stripe, ground. Yep, it's ground. So I did get that correct indeed. But, you know, check multiple ways. Measure twice, cut once, or check however many times you think you need to, and then actually solder. Because if you screw up a capacitor, if you screw up your capacitor orientation with these big ones, they can explode. And they can also short circuit themselves, and that will take out your VRM. And if your VRM is taken out in the wrong way, which is basically your VRM getting taken out is wrong, it can take out your GPU core. And if your VRM is taken out, most people can't fix that. If your GPU core is taken out, it can't be fixed. So check as many times as you absolutely need to. So yeah, so I do have that correct. So that is V-core and ground. So the little leg, the other leg is ground, so that's fine. So basically these have to be oriented like this. And I need to prep the other leg right now. And then it's just add the capacitor. So yeah, I'm so professional at this. Oh God. There we go. Yep, that looks like it should work. I'll only do one side here because I don't want the solder getting anywhere near that other bubble of solder. Because if it gets to that other one, then I'm screwed again. Because then it would be a short circuit, and the VRM would explode the moment I tried to power it on, and that would suck. Well, actually, the short circuit protection should kick in, but you don't want to test if short circuit protection actually works. You know, it's there for when you screw up by accident. It's not there for you to fuck with it just because you can. Because I've actually had power supplies where the short circuit protection like worked once, twice, three times, and then the fourth time the power supply died. So yeah, okay, well I think that one's ready as well. So that was actually super quick. So now the thing with adding capacitors, you want to keep your leads as short as freaking possible. Because the less long they are, the less inductance you get. And we're talking like really, really, really small amounts of, you know, impact. But still, if you want the best, absolute best, you know, effectiveness of your capacitors, you want these to be as short as possible. Now, if you're really handy with a soldering pen, you can obviously get them shorter than people who aren't as handy with a soldering pen. I don't consider myself super handy with a soldering pen, so I'm going to probably use pretty long leads. So now I'll just try figure out how I want to mount these. I'm not really 100% sure which way I want to go. And one thing I wanted to check is I'm pretty sure those outer cases are metal, and I want to figure out if those go to ground. Because if they go to ground, then Obviously, I can't just put them willy-nilly. So, let's check. Oh, cool. So there is an anti-conductive coating. Okay, so these things are built to be idiot-proof. Yay me! I don't have to worry about breaking things as much. Okay, so ground to ground, so I could put it on this way, and that would put it really close to this screw, but it wouldn't put me over any screw holes here, and it would get out of the way of the inductors, and that actually fits really nicely. So yeah, I think I'm going to mount it like that. So that means I need to bend it down a little, and so like that. I'm going to snip it now. I'm going to leave a little extra just in case. Well, that looks about, yeah, that looks about right. And yep, I got it right. I mean, that's not great. I've seen work by other like way better overclockers than me, and they can get those things like you can barely fit the soldering pen under the damn capacitors when they add them. But yeah, I'm not gonna try I'm not gonna go for gold here. I just want this damn thing to work. So yeah. So let's do the capacitor. Ouch! Damn it! Oh yeah, burnt myself with this solder. So yep. Where did that capacitor go? Damn it! There it went. So let's do this. Up. And that's one leg. And did keep the yeah, okay, I do have the orientation correctly. And now the other leg. And this is going to be a disaster. That's way too much solder on that one. And let's put that on the heatsink. There we go. So yeah, now this should just be a case of tapping it and hooray for me. Yeah, okay, so ground to ground, done. Actually, I'd like to move it up a bit. I can't desolder it. Well, that tells me the joint is sound. Yeah, that joint is very good, probably. Yeah, okay, I'm not moving that. That's frozen solid. I'd need a significantly stronger pen to get that back off. Not that it's completely impossible, it's just not. I don't want to bother at this point. So let's get the other one on, and there we go. Come on, come on. Yeah, okay, that one's done. I'll just add a tad more. And there we go. Well, that's not the neatest soldering job ever, but I think it'll work for the most part. What say you? Whoop. Yeah, and I forgot to turn on autofocus. Oh well, just need to do that 5 more times. And actually, I won't do these two because they're right next to this screw. And I really, if I ever want to do volt modding, then I need to be able to get to that. Is that screw important? Yes, it is. It's holding on so the VRM heatsink, the MOSFETs are all here. So you have this screw, and this screw, putting all the force down on that thermal pad that's cooling, connecting them to the base plate. So I can't just throw this one out. Well, I could, but I don't really want to unnecessarily damage my temperatures on the MOSFETs. So let's add another capacitor. This time it should go a bit faster because now I already know how to do it from the last ones. Well, from the first one, so. And the pen's properly heated up. Let's do one. Come on. And damn it, I got the solder wire. There we go. Give it a little bit of time. Come on. Join, damn it. Okay, that looks like it's attached. Yeah, okay, that seems like... Just give it a tad more, and then I'll do the other leg, and then we add a capacitor, and it'll be done. That'll be 2, and actually at that point I'll have 3000 UF compared to, what was stock, 4000? Yeah, so stock was 6 capacitors, 800. So if I add 2 of these, 800 times 6 is 4,200. I would almost double it if I only add 3. If I only add 3, I've doubled the... Yeah, okay, I don't need to add a crap ton of these. I'm just going to add 3 of them. That should... Any more, and it might not do... Like, it's probably going to be super overkill if I add any more, so... I'm just going to add 3, because, you know, otherwise we'd be here for a month with my soldering abilities being what they are. And yeah. You know what? You know what I'm doing wrong right now? I'm applying solder to my pen. And I just reversed the damn things. Above the PCB. I could drip solder all over this. I'm a dumbass. I should not do that. So, yeah. And if I dripped solder on the PCB and it hit, say, the PCIe fingers or some other really unfortunate place, then that's a dead graphics card, basically. Especially if it shorts something out. That's basically dead graphics card right there. Just because I'm too lazy to not, you know, do the soldering right. And then I'm going to have to remount the water block. Oh noes. Oh well. Who said this has to be easy? Oh, this one's going to be fun, isn't it? So it doesn't actually fit properly because of the first one. So I guess I should put it in reverse like that. Right? Yeah, I think that's the best option here. Put it the other way around. Yep, I'm going to do that. So bend these again. Make sure that I do have ground to ground. Yep, I do. This is so... Worst case, I get all the capacitors I add wrong and you get to see explosions. Or a fire. Or smoke. One of the 3. Well, if there's explosions, there's probably fire. But most likely, you'll only get to see some smoke, so... Yeah. Let's see. Well, that'll just about work. Okay, so that's going to be... this, you know what sucks about these things? They don't have any thermal Can you actually see that? So these capacitors don't have any thermal capacity. So when you hold them while soldering, they get really, really hot. Really, really quick. Not fun. You don't have a lot of time to add these. Now, luckily, if it burns your fingers, it's still way within safety tolerances for the capacitor. Because these things are rated in an oven at 105 degrees, and metal things tend to feel really hot above 60. Just because of how thermal, you know, because they're thermally conductive, so if they reach a certain temperature, they're going to dump that heat really quickly into your skin. So you're going to feel that as a lot of heat when it's actually still relatively cool. And yeah. And these legs are going to be a pain. And do I still have that? Yeah, okay, I definitely have that ground correct. So there. I think that's the best I can do. Yep. Okay, so let's tin the damn things. There we go. That's 1. That's 2. These tin really nicely compared to those other ones. Hop. Nope, didn't get it. More solder. Oh, I'm going to burn my fingers, aren't I? Oh well. Okay, that one's on. Now I need to get the other one. This is really obnoxious. And damn it, my hand is shaking all over. Do breathing exercises. Stop your hands from shaking. Oh, that actually fucking worked. Lol. Okay, this is kind of attached. I'm going to add a dab more just to make sure that it doesn't come off. Okay, well, this angle of approach sucks. I should have... That fan is annoying. Do I have any kind of... Oh, look, random piece of Armaflex. How convenient that I don't clean up. Oh, well, that still moved. Actually, that shouldn't have moved. Oh, that one cracked off. Yep. That one wasn't properly bonded. Well, at least I discovered it now. No, later. That seems... Nope, that doesn't seem solid. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna need a different tip for that. Let's see, do I have it here? That's not it. That's not it either. Damn it, where's my big case of crap for electron? Oh, there it is. Okay, well, tip swap, because I can't get there with this one. Let's see, this one. Ta-da! This tip. So this is a chisel. And it looks sort of like a chisel. That's where it gets its name from. And it's great because, well, it, you put it next to things, and that's where it solders best. So that's what I'm going to use for basically getting next to the capacitor, because I want to get just because. You'll know when you need to do this kind of thing, so hopefully. So yeah. This is still very, very hot, and I don't want to wait. And I actually do this normally, so this isn't anything super extreme by my standards. Up. Up. Load up the new tip. And ta-da! And we're ready to go, more or less. Now I just need to tighten this down. And we can go back to soldering. That's why I have this metal thing, to hold all my hot tips. So, yeah. Yeah, and this tip's kind of crappy, but just because I misuse these tips so badly, but oh well, it'll do the job, probably. I can go back to benching. I really hope this gets me at least 10 more megahertz, otherwise this would have been a lot of wasted effort. Up. Okay, so this one is actually like this tip, with how short it is and how heavy it is. It has a lot more thermal mass. Well, it's not actually much heavier than that one, but it's a lot shorter than the other one I was using. This one tends to, like, you can almost solder PCIe connectors with it. I've soldered straight to the ground plane with it, and it works. So this one packs a hell of a lot of, heat compared to that other tip. So I don't really think this one's going to have it. Yeah, it has absolutely no problem with this. Right tip for the job, I guess. That looks solid. So let's do the other one again, because that one seems to have come loose. Okay. Boom. And nope, that's still hanging on by flux, as far as I'm concerned. It's not bonding properly. Oh well, I'll try go between them. Try to get it from the other side. Yeah, okay, I think that'll be fine at this point. So, okay, third one, and then we'll stop, because obviously I think everybody's sick and tired of me trying to solder canisters onto a GPU. And I think I'm just going to skip the next one, because that's really close to that one, so I don't want to go there. I'm going to go to the next one over. Just, yeah, that's most effective. So, scratch it up again to make sure that it's super easy to solder to. And then, and actually I'll finish this off with the heavy tip, because the heavy tip's obviously way, way better for this. I should have swapped from that one ages ago, but whatever. At least you get to see a bit of a comparison for what kind of difference different tips make. There we go. Basically, you see that all these joints are like matte silver. in color. When you scratch them up, you want them to, you know, start shining. If they start glinting, then you know you're doing a good job. So I'm not going to try show you that up close because it's probably not going to show up at all. There we go. And let's get the other one. And yes, a box cutter is one of the best options for this. You can also, if you don't want to use a box cutter to scratch things up, you can also use, what's it called? Contact cleaner. That apparently works really good as well. But I found this method works fine for me, so I'm not going to spend any more money on a can of stuff I'll probably use, like, not enough to, you know, make it worth it. There we go. There. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's roll. Not on the GPU. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be way, way faster with this bigger tip. Up. Yep, I just need to put it there for a bit and it's going to just melt into that capacitor leg. Yep, yeah, that's not going anywhere, most likely. So now I just need to do the other one, and I did that thing where I apply solder to my pen above the GPU, which I just told you not to do. Oh well, do as I say, don't do as I do. And that other one also looks like it's basically good. I'm not really happy, I need more. I feel like I should put more on there, just in case. There we go. That's a horrible blob, but at least it'll make adding the capacitor easier. Okay, so now get the orientation, snip, and roll. Hop, and go. And more solder. Add it to the component leads. Go. So that's now ready, and do I have the orientation correct? Indeed I do, so... Well, now at least all of their orientations are the same way. So if I screwed up, we get 3 explosions instead of 1. And if I didn't screw up, then we get 0 explosions. So, in some ways, that's a good thing. And that's added. Okay, so that just about doubled the total capacitance of the VRM. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll be twice as clean. It just, you know, could do some help for, it could significantly help in major power transients because those capacitors will basically sit there and supply a huge amount of extra voltage until they discharge. So, yeah. Let's throw in on the test bench. This will probably have done absolutely freaking nothing. On the Fury X's, when I did this to the HBM, it actually made a really big difference. Basically, my Fury X's went from not being able to run at 600 megahertz to being absolutely capable of barely, well, not absolutely capable, but they barely made 600 megahertz. Like they actually finished benchmarks at 600 megahertz, even if games were completely unplayable due to the amount of artifacts. Whereas when I started with no extra capacitors on the HBM, the cards just couldn't do 600 at all, ever. You couldn't do it. It wasn't possible. So this mod, you know, for HBM, it worked really well. For the V-Core on the Fury X's, it basically did absolutely nothing at all. Now, where did that thermal paste go? Okay. I'm not going to redo the thermal paste job. I'm you know, patience running low. I'm just going to put crap tons of thermal paste and hope for the best. Because as long as you put enough force behind it, it's going to Calm down. So that's the card prepped. As far as thermal paste goes, now I need to take care of the water block again. Because obviously, when I quickly pulled off the GPU from the water block, the trick to that was that I left most of the mounting gear still on the block. Right? So I still got the thumb screws and the springs and everything. So let's pull that apart, remount the water block, and hopefully not get an explosion. Try not to blow it up before. Oh my god, we have 367 viewers right now. I think that's the most viewers I've ever had. So, yeah. So VRM efficiency is probably like below 70% at this point. Okay, it didn't drop that much. It doesn't have that huge an impact, probably, I hope. I never actually checked what the difference in power. See, if I had a working current clamp, I could totally check what the difference. No, I couldn't. Because this is so. Damn it. Oh, damn it. Those are way too tight to pull off by hand. Okay, well. Why do I always do things the hard way instead of the proper way? Well, actually, no. This is the fastest way. It's just the hardest way as well. So, it's not like if I did it the right way, it would be like, it wouldn't actually go any better. It would just take months and, like, I'd have to leak test the loop every time, because I wouldn't be, trying to mount stuff with a water block on it. Admittedly, I could get quick disconnect fittings, but have you seen the price for quick disconnect fittings? That's an absolute freaking ripoff. So yeah, and I never thought I'd actually be doing this until yesterday. So me yesterday was way more optimistic than me. Well, probably overestimated my abilities, but let's just keep going. It's not like it can get any worse. I mean, I could remount the air cooler and see if the card works, but that would be a waste of time because then I'd have to unmount the damn thing again, and that's just wasting everybody's everything. So let's see. Old. Yep. Come on. It doesn't help that I don't remember which way screws are supposed to undo. Oh, I do. By instinct. Never ask me which way to turn them, because I wouldn't be able to tell you. Apparently, as long as I try to undo them, I can. So that's another one off. Where did I put the other one? Oh, there it is, on the laptop. Ah. This is so precarious. I mean, it's not like there's actually any problem with having the tubing hang over. It won't pull itself out. But, don't want to find out if it'll how long it'll actually be able to dangle like that. Not too interested in finding that out. If it actually started leaking, that would suck. So there we go. That one's loose now. I can do it with hand. Some days I really wish I fell into a nuclear reactor. Those extra arms and legs would help. Well, legs not so much. Arms very much so. To hell with evolution. Fucking hell. Evolution, I need 4 arms, please. Damn it. Work. Okay, it's coming apart now. I also would appreciate tiny fingers on top of my fingers to deal with volt mods and stuff. Though admittedly, those tiny fingers would get burnt even faster than my current fingers. So maybe that would actually suck really badly. You haven't really missed anything. I'm just fighting with the water block right now, and then we're going to throw the water block on the card and then throw the card back in the system. Overclocking is not a very fast process, and I'm rushing it hard, really hard. Like, they should do, what would be I think the dumbest idea I've ever had, and possibly the best idea I have ever had for competitive overclocking, is there should be a 24 hours of Le Mans style overclocking event where you get 24 hours, or maybe say even a week, because overclocking is much less, physically. Like in 24 hours Le Mans, the drivers actually get tired, whereas as long as you keep an overclocker supplied with copious amounts of energy drink, they can probably keep going for 3 days straight. So the idea was, like, imagine a 24-hour overclocking event somehow. I don't know how it would be worked out. They'd probably need a special benchmark just for the sake of the event. But basically, it'd be like an endurance run where you have to get the most score in 24 hours. And ideally, I would want it to also accommodate system crashes and that kind of thing, so that people would have to be forced to like do really quick replacements of like cooling systems and stuff just for the hell of it. Because it's one thing where it's like you set up your system in like a month. You take a month to set up your system and then do an hour of benchmarking versus you need to do 24 hours of benchmarking, and every time something dies, you need to hot swap it. Admittedly, that would get really expensive really quick, but I guess you could run it on like old AMD CPUs. You can get those for like nothing now. Damn it. Where is it? There we go. And now I can't find one. Okay, there we go. That's all the standoffs taken care of. So now we can put the water block back on. I'm just gonna go to hell with it with the thermal paste. So wait, this goes on, comes around, okay, yeah, so the card needs to be this way? No, because it's this way, so yeah. Oh wait, that's actually, oh yeah, okay, I'm just brain dead, apparently. Okay, so I've just been doing, okay, so my brain is sort of getting fried at this point. Stress of live stream, stress of live streaming and worried about screwing up live. What if everybody realizes I'm not quite as intelligent as they seem to think I am? Please think I'm dumb. If you think I'm dumb, then I can't break any of your hopes and dreams. Just assume I'm wrong about everything until somebody smarter than me confirms it. 401 viewers. Oh my god. What? No, I redid the TIM. I added extra thermal paste. I just went to hell with it. Like I didn't spread it out like I normally do and everything. I just threw a bunch of thermal paste on there and hope for the best. I really hope I don't break one of the capacitors off while holding the cards like this. Well, holding the card like this. You know what I'm really wondering? Does the RX 480 support four-way crossfire? Because I could actually afford a... Well, no, I couldn't, but it'd be more affordable than the Fury X crossfire I always dreamed of. Four-way. Oh, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Buildzoid, please what? Overclock undervolters Wattman will not... What? Ugh. Come on. Damn it, mount. Okay, well... Yeah, that's an EK block. I use EK everything for my water cooling except the tubing. And fans. Oh, come on, you stupid fucking... There we go, now it caught. Card almost ready. ETA to firing up of Windows and possible explosion. Couple seconds. Alright, I can relax my legs now, because the card's finally more or less assembled. And we'll throw the 2000... Okay. Up. Now you're supposed to tension these like in proper order to get proper thermal paste spread, but to hell with that too. The temperatures were so low it's not going to really matter. Assuming the capacitors did anything super useful, then boom. Well, just in case, I might have soldered them on wrong. They shouldn't explode unless I put them on wrong, but I'm never 100% certain about anything I do until it fires up and doesn't explode. So, yeah. I've probably embarrassed myself more than once on this stream already. It can't get any worse. Let's see. Throw the horrible monstrosity. Well, it's still not a monstrosity compared to the Fury X's. Well, compared to the dead one. And actually, I haven't checked the dead one, so don't actually count that one out completely yet. I just like to think it's dead, so well, I don't like to think it's dead, but as long as, I don't touch it, it's Schrodinger's GPU. It's both dead and alive. As long as it's dead and alive, then I don't have to be sad about it. Okay, right, connect the 6-pin. That would be bad. Okay, so now the system is fully set up again. Whoomp. So there's the capacitors. There's the whole thing. Let's see if it explodes. Wait, let's see. Oh, there. 3, 2, 1, ignition. Oh, no explosion. No smoke either. I did do it right. See, I'm not as dumb as I said I was. There we go. It's on fire. Nah, I'm just messing with you. It's not on fire. And the keyboard and the mouse have come to life, which tells us one thing. Windows is about to start, hopefully. Please, Windows. Oh, the DisplayPort cable. Always the DisplayPort cable. There, Windows. Yeah, it fired up. It didn't exploded. What was that noise? Bubbles in the loop? Why is there bubbles in the loop? Is it leaking? You know what? I should have plasti-dipped the Rampage just because of the stupid shit I do with the Rampage. That's the other thing. You know how like I plasti-dip for LN2? So the other thing you got to think about when you plasti-dip a motherboard, it also becomes dust-proof and to some extent idiot-proof. Because like you can drop almost anything on the board after it's covered in plasti-dip, and assuming it doesn't fall right into a socket, it can't short anything out because everything's covered in plasti-dip. Admittedly, it does have some slight negative effects on motherboard thermals. Right, what am I doing? Wattman. I think it remembered the last settings that died, right? Slam this thing. Let's see. Temperature. We're at 22 degrees according to Wattman. Water temperature's at 25 degrees. The GPU still can't read its own temperature. Okay, so we're at 1420 now. Please tell me the capacitors did something good. Like making this overclock stable. That would be great. Let's run this. Moment of truth. Did Buildzoid just waste a good chunk of your time, or did he not? I can't believe I'm getting 423 views. And yeah, okay, my laptop seems to be committing suicide. Yep, that's the laptop screwing up. That's not the Streamway. I think I might have camera issues. I must have stepped on the cable too much. Is the camera overheating? No. Well, damn it. No, that's... Oh, shit. Okay, well, the card didn't like that either. So that didn't do anything for GPU clocks. So I guess volt mods are in order now. But the camera... no glitches, no glitches. Okay. Why is it doing that? That's definitely I don't know. Could it? I don't know. Okay. So the screen for the stream artifacting, I think I need to restart the stream. I don't know. It seems like the laptop doesn't seem to be on fire yet, but the camera's kind of warm, but not particularly hot either. No, I don't have to reboot the laptop. I just need to restart the stream. I've had this happen before, so I'll just restart the stream and we'll be back. Um, so yeah. What? Need to restart the computer? I actually need to restart the computer. Oh, come on, no. You know what? I'm just gonna try do the count. Just okay. Wait. Quick interruption to get the camera to behave again, and then I'll be back.